Most women have never been in love. They've been in positioning. Go ahead, read that again in your head. Let it sit in your chest for a second. Feel that resistance rising, that uncomfortable heat behind your eyes? Good. That reaction right there, that's the sound of a truth you've been avoiding. Because here's what's actually happening in modern relationships that absolutely no one has the guts to say on camera. A staggering number of women, not all, but far more than society will ever publicly acknowledge, are not choosing partners. They are choosing portfolios. They are not falling in love. They are falling in line with a financial strategy that was planted in their subconscious before they ever had their first crush. And men, you're not innocent in this either, not even close, but we'll get to your part in this mess shortly. Right now, I need you to buckle in, because over the next 15 minutes, I'm going to dismantle one of the most protected lies in modern dating, the idea that love is the primary currency of romantic relationships. It's not. And deep down, you already know that. You've just never had anyone walk you through exactly why. Welcome to Love and Logic. I'm Olivia, and today we're burning the script.
Let's start with the bedtime story the entire world agreed to tell itself. When two people truly love each other, nothing else matters. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? It's on greeting cards, it's in wedding vows, it's whispered between couples who are 3 months away from breaking up over who pays rent. Here's the harsh truth. That statement has destroyed more relationships than infidelity ever has, because it sets up an expectation that is biologically, psychologically, and economically impossible to sustain. Love, real love, is not a resource. You cannot deposit it into a bank. You cannot use it to pay school fees for your children. You cannot hand it to a landlord when the first of the month arrives. And yet, we've collectively decided that anyone who acknowledges this reality is shallow, materialistic, a gold digger. Nobody wants to admit this, but the woman who quietly factors in a man's financial trajectory before committing is not being shallow, she's being strategic. The problem isn't the strategy itself. The problem is when that strategy completely replaces genuine human connection, when the spreadsheet becomes the entire relationship. And that, my friends, is happening on a scale that should terrify every single person watching this video. So why is it happening? Why are millions of women across the globe consistently ranking financial provision above emotional intimacy? The answer isn't simple greed. It's far more layered, far more historical, and far more psychologically embedded than anyone is willing to unpack. Until now.
Let me take you inside a household that exists in every country, every culture, every economic bracket on this planet. A little girl is sitting at a dinner table. She's 7 years old. Her report card is decent, not exceptional, but solid. Nobody at that table says, "One day you're going to run a company." Nobody says, "You should start thinking about what you want to build." Instead, her grandmother leans over, pinches her cheek and says, "With that face, some lucky man is going to sweep you off your feet." That sentence, that single seemingly harmless sentence, just installed a program. And that program will run silently in the background of every major decision this girl makes for the next 3 decades. This is where most people get it wrong. They think women who chase wealthy men are making a conscious, calculated adult decision. Most of them aren't. They're executing childhood software. They were never handed the blueprint for self-construction. They were handed the blueprint for attachment. Their entire value system was architected around one outcome, being chosen by a man of means. So when she grows up and passes over the kind, hardworking man with a modest income in favor of the flashy guy with a luxury vehicle and a condo, she's not being evil. She's being obedient. Obedient to a script she didn't write, but has memorized so deeply it feels like instinct. And that distinction is critically important. Because if you understand the root, you can finally stop being angry at the fruit.
Now here's a layer that makes people deeply uncomfortable, so naturally, I'm going to press directly into it. In many parts of the world, and I mean right now, today, not 100 years ago, a daughter is not viewed as a person. She is viewed as an investment vehicle. Her family pours resources into raising her with the full expectation that her eventual marriage will generate a financial return. In some cultures, this is explicit. Bride prices, dowry negotiations, transactional ceremonies that look like love but function like mergers and acquisitions. But even in so-called progressive societies, the dynamic exists. It's just wearing better clothes. A mother who constantly reminds her daughter to marry well is running the same equation. A friend group that celebrates an engagement primarily because of the size of the ring is performing the same valuation. And here's the part that will absolutely start a war in the comments. Can you honestly blame her? Picture a woman who grew up watching her mother cry over unpaid bills. A woman who ate the same meal 4 nights in a row because there was nothing else. A woman who wore the same shoes until they literally disintegrated. That woman does not have the luxury of prioritizing butterflies in deep conversations. For her, financial security isn't a preference, it's a trauma response. She's not choosing money over love, she's choosing survival over vulnerability. And until you've lived in that kind of scarcity, you don't get to judge that decision from your comfortable apartment. However, and this is the critical pivot, trauma explains behavior. It does not justify building an entire relationship on extraction. There is a razor-thin line between seeking stability and becoming a parasite, and too many people are standing on the wrong side of that line while pretending they're on the right one. Let's shift gears into territory that's less sympathetic and far more uncomfortable. Beyond survival, beyond conditioning, beyond generational trauma, there exists a category of women who pursue wealthy men for one brutally simple reason. They want things they refuse to earn themselves. And before anyone accuses me of being harsh, I said what I said. Wanting a beautiful life is not a crime. Desiring comfort, travel, fine dining, elegant clothing, that's human. Every single person watching this video wants a better quality of life. The issue arises when wanting becomes waiting, when desire becomes delegation, when a woman decides that her pathway to luxury runs exclusively through a man's bank account because she never bothered to open her own. Here's a scenario. 2 women want the same lifestyle. Woman A identifies what she wants, maps out a 5-year plan, develops a skill, builds income streams, and slowly constructs the life she envisioned. Woman B identifies what she wants, opens a dating app, filters by income bracket, and starts performing affection for whoever meets her financial checklist. Both women end up in nice apartments, but one of them owns her life. The other one is renting it, and the lease is controlled by someone else's mood, someone else's loyalty, and someone else's continued willingness to fund the arrangement. This is where most people get it wrong. They see the identical lifestyle and assume the 2 women are in the same position. They're not. One is free. The other is an employee who doesn't realize she clocks in every morning. Now let me connect the dots that nobody in polite conversation wants to connect. If she has no personal ambition, if she comes from financial desperation, if she craves luxury but refuses to build it herself, what exactly is the relationship? Because from where I'm standing, and I say this as a woman, that's not partnership. That's a transaction wearing a wedding ring. And here's the part that should make every man in this audience sit up straight. You are being auditioned right now, tonight, on that date you just planned. She's not evaluating your character. She's evaluating your capacity to fund, your capacity to elevate, your capacity to maintain a standard of living she's decided she deserves, but has made 0 effort to create independently. Nobody wants to admit this, but there are women who will kiss you, sleep with you,
tell you they love you, and introduce you to their mothers, all while running a silent cost-benefit analysis in the back of their minds. And the moment that analysis turns negative, the moment you lose that job, the moment the business slows down, the moment the lifestyle dips, watch what happens to that love. It evaporates, because it was never love, it was leverage. Now, am I saying every woman does this? Absolutely not. Am I saying a significant enough number do it that you need to be aware of it? Without question.
Here's where I flip the mirror directly onto the men, because if I'm going to be honest, I have to be honest with everybody. Gentlemen, half of this problem is you. You've been socialized to believe that your worth as a man is measured by what you provide. Society taught you that. Your fathers taught you that. The culture you grew up in tattooed that belief into your nervous system. And instead of questioning it, you leaned into it. You led with your wallet. You confused generosity with identity. You made your financial output the main attraction, and then got devastated when the women you attracted were primarily attracted to your financial output. Let me make this uncomfortably clear. If you show up to a first date in a car you can barely afford, take her to a restaurant that's 3 times your budget, and spend the evening subtly broadcasting your income level, you just set the terms of the entire relationship. You told her, without words, "My value is economic," and she believed you because you were very convincing. Then 6 months later, you're on the internet complaining that women only care about money. No, brother. She cared about exactly what you advertised. You sold a product, she bought it, and now you're angry at the customer for purchasing exactly what was on the shelf. This is the part where emotional maturity separates the men from the boys. A man who understands his worth beyond his wallet attracts differently. He shows up as a whole person, with values, with vision, with depth, with emotional availability. And the women who respond to those qualities are fundamentally different from the ones who respond to bottle service and designer shoes. You are not a victim of female materialism. You are a co-architect of the dynamic you hate.
Let's zoom out for a moment and look at this from 30,000 feet. For the overwhelming majority of human history, the deal was clear. Men hunt, women nurture. Men generate external resources, women manage the internal ecosystem. It was functional. It made biological and logistical sense in a world where physical strength determined survival. But here's the problem. We don't live in that world anymore. Nobody is hunting anything. Your dinner is sitting in a refrigerated aisle waiting for you to scan a barcode. The entire premise of the original arrangement has evaporated, but the expectations attached to it have not. They've calcified. They've become cultural concrete. So now you have women who have full access to education, careers, entrepreneurship, financial tools, and economic independence, still operating under a belief system designed for an era when none of that existed. And you have men who haven't picked up a spear in 10,000 years, still being judged by their ability to provide and protect, as if a saber-toothed tiger is waiting outside the apartment. Both sides are performing roles that expired centuries ago, and both sides are miserable because of it. But neither side wants to renegotiate the contract, because the current version, dysfunctional as it is, still benefits each party in convenient ways. Women get to avoid full accountability, men get to feel important, and love, actual, genuine, vulnerable, terrifying love, gets sacrificed at the altar of comfort.
Let me condense everything into 5 truths that should permanently alter how you approach relationships. Truth 1. A person who has built nothing of their own will always be shopping for someone else's progress. This applies to men and women equally. If there is no internal foundation, no career, no passion, no personal growth, the only available strategy is attachment to someone who has one. That's not love. That's real estate. Truth 2. What a person values most will be revealed by what they tolerate. If she stays when the money flows but disappears during hardship, she just told you everything. If he stays when she's beautiful and young but drifts when life changes her body, he told you everything. People don't lie. Their patterns do all the talking. Truth 3. Socialization explains the behavior. It does not grant it a permanent excuse. Yes, she was raised to seek wealthy men. Yes, he was raised to measure himself by provision. But adulthood comes with a responsibility to examine inherited beliefs. At some point, that's how I was brought up, stops being a reason and starts being a hiding place. Truth 4. The most dangerous relationships are the ones that look perfect from the outside, but operate like silent contracts on the inside. Instagram will show you the vacation. It won't show you the emotional void between those two people at dinner. The biggest scam in modern dating is the performance of partnership in the absence of genuine connection. Truth 5. Financial compatibility matters. Financial dependency destroys. There is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting a partner who is responsible with money, who plans for the future, who can contribute to building a life. That's wisdom. What's toxic is needing a partner to be your entire financial infrastructure because you never bother to develop your own. One is a standard, the other is a cage for both people.
So what does the alternative look like? Emotionally intelligent women assess a man's direction, not his current bank statement. They look at discipline, consistency, integrity, emotional regulation, and vision. They ask themselves, is this person building something meaningful? Not, can this person fund my wish list? They bring their own resources to the table, and they view partnership as multiplication, not rescue. Emotionally intelligent men stop performing wealth and start demonstrating character. They don't hide their finances out of fear, but they don't lead with them either. They observe carefully. They notice whether she asks about his dreams or his salary first. They pay attention to how she treats waiters, how she handles disappointment, and whether her interest fluctuates with his spending. And both are willing to have the uncomfortable conversations about money, about expectations, about roles, about what each person is bringing versus what each person is expecting. These conversations are unsexy. They're awkward. They don't make good social media content, but they are the foundation of every relationship that actually survives past the honeymoon fog.
So here's my direct challenge to every single person watching this. Women, I need you to ask yourself one question tonight. Sit alone, no phone, no distractions, and ask yourself honestly, if this man had nothing but his character, his consistency, and his genuine love for me, would I still choose him? Don't answer quickly. Don't give the socially acceptable response. Give the real one, the one that lives in the part of you that nobody else sees. And if the answer makes you uncomfortable, that discomfort is your compass. Follow it. It's trying to tell you something. Men, I need you to ask yourself a different question. What have I been advertising? And am I surprised by who showed up to buy it? If every woman you attract seems focused on your finances, look at the billboard you've been holding up. Because the problem might not be women. The problem might be your marketing. Both of you, stop blaming the opposite gender for patterns you are actively participating in. You are not passengers in your own love life. You are drivers. And right now, most of you are driving with a map that someone else drew for you 20 years ago. It's time to pull over and draw your own. Now, I know this video just set a few things on fire. I know some of you are nodding so hard your neck hurts. And I know some of you are furious and already typing a comment with one hand. Either way, I want to hear it. Tell me this in the comments. Do you believe a relationship can truly survive without financial security? Or is money the real foundation that nobody wants to admit holds everything together? Don't give me the polished answer. Give me the raw one. I want the truth. I want the debate. I want the arguments. Because that's how we actually grow. Not by agreeing politely, but by wrestling with the uncomfortable stuff until something real emerges. If this video challenged you, share it with someone who needs their cage rattled. Tag a friend. Send it to that group chat that always argues about relationships. Let's see what happens. My name is Olivia. This is Love and Logic. Hit subscribe. Smash that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And remember, in love and in life, clarity always beats comfort. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay honest, and stop building your life on someone else's blueprint. Peace.